What's up guys, it's LP here. Today we'll be looking at the Belta, the Toyota Belta. I'll be taking you through the features, the connectivity, the practicality and space, and I'll tell you guys what I like about the car and what I don't like about the car, and hopefully this will help you in your purchase decision and give you more information about the car. To get to know the Belta better, the Belta is known in the American and Australian markets as the Yaris, and in some Asian countries it's known as the Toyota Vios. The Belta went on sale in the year 2005 in Japan, and it was equipped with the 1 liter or 1000cc and the 1300cc engines. Export sales began in 2006, where most markets got the 1500cc engine. The name Belta is a construction of two Italian words, sim belligente or belligente, yeah, which means beautiful people, or as Google tells me, nice people, whichever goes. The Japanese Belta was discontinued in June of 2012, while it was replaced by the E160 Toyota, which in our market, the Kenyan market, is the Toyota Axio for the sedan shape, and for the station wagon shape is the Toyota Fielder. However, in other countries, for like Mexico and Australia, production was discontinued in the year 2016. However, the Yaris sedan was still in production in Japan for exports to Mexico and Australia until it was discontinued in both of those countries in 2016. If you are thinking of buying the Belta or waiting for the facelift, you have no choice now other than to go for the Axio or the Fielder. Our review car today has a 1000cc 3-cylinder engine. It has about 67 horsepower and about an average economy of 13 to 14 if it's well maintained and running well. As you can see, the engine is quite dirty because it's a running car, it's expected, but other than that the car runs well with 4 to 5 occupants in luggage at speeds of 100. Anything above that will just be pushing it. The car thrives around 100 kph and it likes flat areas, doesn't like hills. It will struggle a lot on hills, and you don't want to drive it on a place that has a lot of hills. Getting into the Belta. What do I see first when I get into the Belta? I see a lot of plastics. On the door side, on the door sills, on the door pockets, on the dashboard, both sides of the glove box, on the center console, even the steering wheel. This center part is plastic. Being at the price point, I mean that it's Toyota, it's really expected because it's standard trim, the startup level for this car, the sedan, so you get a lot of plastics all over. Other things that, as I'm sitting here, I have quite a lot of headspace, about let me say 4 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches. Leg space is great. Space on my side is awesome. Again, I get my handrest, which on the Toyota Vitz does not come with this, so that's a nice inclusion. I get my ratchet handbrake, which is amazing when you want to do silly stuff. But quite backdated, being that these days you get the push handbrake, but I do prefer to have this ratchet handbrake. You get your gear selector. Oh, another thing, the only thing that's on the car that's not plastic is the steering wheel and the gear shift selector. It's a kind of soft plastic. I'm not sure what it is. If you guys know, you can tell me down in the comments below. And the same thing happens on the steering wheel. Steering wheel is an okay size. You have deep channels for your thumbs to hold on at 9 and 3, and you have your centralized gauge cluster. But Toyota typically does this so that they can standardize the builds for right-hand drive and left-hand drive, so you don't have to change the dash too many times. Yeah, this is centralized. Other than having it here, I have to shift all the electronics to the other side. It's all in the same place. We get your AC controls down here with the triangular shape thing, where your hot and cold is at the bottom. On your left-hand side is wind or air you want to be coming into the cabin area, and on your right-hand side is to control the direction you want the air to be blown at you, to your feet, to your face, and all that. As you go up, you have your small screen that typically just shows you. Let me just get the keys. That's the key of the Toyota Belta. It gets you your presets on the side with your AM and FM, and it still has a disc. For those guys who were born 2005 coming onwards, it's millennial proof. Millennial proof. I don't think guys still use CDs anymore, disc CDs, but the option is here for you to use it. Other than that, what you get is your power on and off, and it's same for your volume knob too. Then your tuner on the other side. Going up, you have your odometer and trip, your clock, and your hazards. Hazards, I call them the park anywhere button. Typically, if you want to park anywhere, put on your hazards and you're good. People think you have an issue, but you just want to park for a while as you wait for someone or something. Yeah. As you go onto the top, your centralized dash, it just tells you your speed, your fuel cluster, your time, and your trip meter. And that's basically it. Nothing more, nothing less. You don't have your counter, being that this car is a 1000cc, you don't really need it. You can just feel the car. If it was manual, you can just feel when the car needs to shift up or shift down. For connectivity, the only connectivity port that you have here is your 12-volt socket down here next to your handbrake, and that's it. There's none hidden in here. There's no other connectivity place other than your CD player, and that's it. At the top, you have your reading lights on both sides that you just click to open, and your center one for your on and for your doors when your doors are open. The other thing is that the seats are quite comfortable for the guy who sits at the front or at the cockpit. Your view is not obstructed in any kind of way. The windows are quite wide and big, and the A-pillars are quite narrow too, so you can see around them. Your visibility from the back, from your rearview mirror, is quite great because you don't have a headrest at the center back seat, so you can see clearly to the back, and all-round view is quite good. Yeah, I can't nitpick on those two small things. Other than that, you have your electric window switches for all 4 windows, your door lock and unlock, and your window lock for when you have children at the back and they keep on opening the windows up and down from the back. The seat adjustability, all you get is your seat up that you pump, and your seat back down that you pump down, and your recline and bring it back to the position that you want, and moving your seat forward and your seat back is just done by a lever at the bottom of your seat that you pull on, and you pull yourself as you pull it, and that's it. Cabin storages at the front seat are quite okay, in my saying, being that you have your door cards on the side here. You can put small drinks on the side, and you have some on the side here too of the center console. You have one on each side for each passenger. You have a second one under the driver's steering wheel, where you can put small things like coins, your driving license, cards, and such stuff. The other things you have around you is your mirror controls, that for control the right and left mirrors and the closing bit. You have your push cup holders that are on both sides, for the driver side and the passenger side. And that's, now let's get back to the back seat. Moving to the back seat of the Belta, how does it feel? I have clear visibility on my sides, on the other side of the car. And the best thing about it is that the windows go all the way down. So for those guys who usually feel claustrophobic or want to have the outside in, the window goes all the way down, so you can put your hand up, you can put your head out if you want. And yeah, that's just it. Another thing is that the sitting position is quite upright, being that the backrest does not incline, and the seat is quite more of like these are seat covers, by the way, so they were put because the seats were light color interiors and they get dirty real quick. So if you plan to buy a light interior car, just be ready to clean it. Other than that, it feels more like a Vitz. Okay, it feels more spacious than a Vitz. Then the Vitz is a hatchback. This one is a saloon car. So my headspace, even if I sit upright, let me sit like that, my back all the way to the back of the seat, and my feet flat. My head touches the top of the car. I'm about 6 foot, and if I sit comfortably in the car, it's comfortable. It's comfortable. I can't talk badly about it. It's comfortable, it's airy, it's spacious for 4 people. If you add a 5th person on the center or a 3rd person on the center, especially for adults, you'll have conflicts of your shoulders rubbing against each other. My leg space is quite alright. I have about an inch or something in between, but I can be here for some time and be comfortable. The guys at the back have 1 cup holder, so whoever gets dibs on that will be the one putting his drink there because of the chopper. As I was saying, being at the back seat of the Belta, it's quite comfortable. You can live with it day to day. You have your driver drive the car and you're at the back of this seat, and you still be comfortable. It will get you where you're going and it will take you from where you are and back home safely, comfortably, not in the most of luxurious of cars, but it will do the job. I get why this car is used more as an Uber than anything else. First of all, consumption. Second of all, the space, all the space within for carrying 4 people comfortably, and the visibility, the ambience, and all that. It's humbling. Let me say that. It's humbling. Yes, it's humbling. At the back seat, you see more plastic up top, soft cloth material in the center where you rest your hand. There's not much space to put your hand, so I don't know what the Japanese market were doing or were thinking. But let me just say, probably they did that to make the car more spacious, or the space for the passenger more. Yeah, you can put your hands to yourself in this car. Visibility is quite well. Again, as I said, I can see my sides here quite well. I can see the front, or the driver is going. I can see the speed the driver is doing, thanks to the centralized gauge cluster at the front. I can see what station the passenger has put, or the DJ has. Sometimes we call the person sitting at the front, and if they're not doing a good job, we just kick him out and put him on the back seat, the guy at the back seat at the front, who can do a better job. And yeah, not much to talk about back here. So moving on to the boot. Let me show you guys the boot. The trunk release is on the right hand side of the driver seat at the bottom, where you pull a lever and the boot opens at the back, or you can use your keys if you're not inside the car to open the boot. So here in the boot, there's not much to talk about really. If I could get in and close myself in, this is big enough space for me to get comfortable. But as I'm here alone, I won't do it because nobody will open the door, open the boot and get me out. So not a good idea. Anyways, other than that, what do you get inside the boot? What you get inside the boot is you get your boot cloth, boot hardboard, you get your space saver spare wheel, and the tool. And that's okay. Not much to talk about here at the back. But it's simple, all that you need, nothing extra. And yeah, that's what you paid for. And that's the boot. Well, to come to the conclusion, should you steer away from the Belta? Should you think about it? Should you put it on your wish list? Or should you just go straight ahead and buy it? Well, if you're looking for a great city runner, or you want a fuel efficient car, or you want a reliable car, yeah, it's a Toyota and its track record, well, I think you should just go ahead and buy the Belta, or at least put it on your wish list as you look around for other cars. But for me, I think the Belta is a great low-key car to have for shopping runs, school runs, and small errand runs around town.